Good afternoon, everybody. David Shuster here on Take Action News. This is our show for the weekend of April the 13th, 2013. So glad to have you with us on a very special spring weekend in Washington, D.C. and up and down the East Coast. Daniel Marin's executive producer, who had been manning the show the last 2 weeks, joins us as always. Daniel, great job the last couple of weeks.
David, that's the highest praise coming from you, and you know that I learned everything I know from you, and I'm grateful for that. I'm gonna have a little bit of trouble coming back into this role because I've just gotten so used to hosting.
Well, you know, that's a good sign. It's a good sign. And by the way, for everybody who missed any part of last week's show or the week before, you can always go to our podcast on iTunes, or you can sign up on YouTube, Take Action News TV. I know there are all those Daniel Marin's fans out there all across the nation's capital who can't get enough of them. So, Daniel, I've been back and forth with DC, living in New York, back in DC, and back in New York. And the one thing that always stood out is I always figured, okay, DC just has a lot of bad traffic. But we find out, of course, over study after study, that D.C. has the worst traffic in the United States. It beats Los Angeles, it beats New York, it beats every city, Houston, Dallas. And proof of that came just this past week. The Washington Nationals on Wednesday, their game against the Chicago White Sox was supposed to start at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:05, and at 7:20 there was an announcement. Actually, at 7:05 there was an announcement of the PA in which they just announced that the Nationals game will not start until 7:20 p.m. because the umpires were caught in traffic and didn't get here in time. Not just one umpire, but several umpires got stuck in traffic. Now, a couple of questions, of course. First of all, why are they cutting it so close when they've got to umpire a Major League Baseball game? But secondly, why are they staying so far away from Nationals Park that they have to get stuck in traffic to begin with?
Yeah, David, I mean, those are two big questions. I mean, those are questions that you would ask right off the bat about the professional standards to which these umpires hold themselves. But there's a broader issue here, and that is, look, at the end of the day, you know, I was thinking, why didn't they take the Metro? I mean, that was sort of my first question. Obviously, the park is right there. But then you think an umpire does have a lot of equipment potentially that they want to take. It's your job. You want to feel comfortable in that position. The bigger issue here is the urban planning of Washington, D.C. You've got the number of commuters that go in and out of the city every day relative to the city's population is something like 4 to 1. And so if Washington, D.C. wanted to ease that problem, they would probably ease up Washington's height restrictions so housing were more affordable in the city. And, of course, making just commuter transit more effective and improving the infrastructure. Obviously, we all know about the Beltway, we know about 295, highways that operate on the periphery of the city. But think about, for instance, that if you're downtown and you're trying to get out of the city going north, your best route is 16th Street or Rock Creek Park. There's no highway that runs down the center of the city. I happen to think my thesis, and I come from a family of sort of traffic-obsessed, direction-obsessed people, is that the entire middle swath of the city becomes congested because it's concentrated in New York Avenue, Massachusetts, Connecticut Avenue, and 16th Street, rather than there being an actual highway that runs in the middle of the city. Baltimore, Maryland, not known for its superb infrastructure, and yet I-83 takes you from downtown Baltimore right up to the northern part of the city in seconds. So,
well, I'm just hoping that look, you know, the next time you or I are headed to a Nationals game and because of DC traffic we are running late, that they'll just delay the game by 15 minutes just to await our arrival. That's what I think they ought to do. So we'll start a petition or something to do that.